Hi, I'm Scott Garibay, and this is part of my Garibay Politics series. And what I'm going to talk about now is the Omaha mass driver, right? So this is just an idea I have, and doesn't exist right now, but I really think it should. So I love America. I'm an American, and I love this country, and I have a degree in political science. This is just an idea I'm putting out there, and I'm hoping that someone's going to be wise enough to pick it up and run with it, because so right now, we're really struggling in America. There's a lot of problems in that we're struggling to have sustained growth, right? So there have been times in American history, where we've had massive growth and really explosive growth, right? And so those times came around when there was when did that happen? The railroad, explosive growth. Manufacturing, explosive growth. Space race, explosive growth, right? So usually explosive growth comes from these huge projects and these massive jump forwards in technology, right? So one of the things I've been struggling with is we keep getting these presidents who, well, one, I'm an Obama fan. I voted for Obama, and the reason why is actually I'm a dyed-in-the-wool Republican, right? And so I voted for Obama because of what my parents told me, and they told me, I love my parents very much. They gave a lot of wisdom to me, and one of the things they raised me with is they said all people are equal, no matter what their color is, and no matter what their history is. All people are equal. And they sent me to college, and when I went to college, I learned history, right? So we had 42 white guys elected in a row. I didn't like that, right? This is America, and if you're a mother and you say to your Chinese son, if you're a mother and you say to your black son, if you're a mother and you say to your Spanish daughter, you can be president. Really, how much truth is behind that? If you got 42 white guys in a row who are president, and there hasn't been any other, and we haven't broken from that tradition. At those points, that's just words, right? So when Obama came forward, I thought he was an extremely intelligent man. I seriously disagreed with his politics because I am a dyed-in-the-wool Republican, right? But he's extremely intelligent. He had written lots of books, and more than that, this is a black American who had a chance of being president, right? So there was no way in heck I was gonna lose the opportunity to vote for an American, a dyed-in-the-wool American, and I think Obama is. Barack Obama, he's a good American. He loves his country, and there was no way I was going to let the opportunity pass for me to vote in a black president. And so I did. I voted in the first black president, me and millions of others. But I'm proud of that. And the reason why is you never know what you would have done if it was back in the day. If you lived back in the day. But I like to believe I would have been an abolitionist. That I would have stood against slavery, right? So I think when I'm an evangelical Christian and pretty dyed-in-the-wool Republican. I actually gave a speech I gave a speech when I graduated from high school in front of like 400 people. I said, vote Republican at the very end, and a speech that had to be vetted by everyone. So that it just kind of gives my bona fides there. So I was a pretty hardcore Republican, right? And so basically, but so really, and also I'm pro-life, right? So Obama's not pro-life. So there were a lot of reasons for me not to vote for him. But when you have a chance to change history, when you have a chance to undo some of the harm that we've done to minorities in this country, you got to take that chance, right? And so I did, and I voted I voted for a man who I thought was a man who loved America, a man who was super intelligent, and a man who would change history. And I think Barack Obama's been a great president. I think he changed history, and I'm proud to have voted for him, and I'm proud that I'm more than proud. I'm just super excited I got to see the first black president in my lifetime. I'm glad that my sons and my daughters have seen a black president in this country. This is a precious thing to me. I remember when he was elected, I went to the Wawa. I'm blessed to live on the East Coast of the United States of America. We have the best convenience stores in the world. It's the Wawa. If you're here, you know it, and it's just they have these great delis, and it's really cool. And so it's a local spot, right? It's nice when you walk into the Wawa because you see people you know. The cops are always there, getting a donut and bagels, or getting a donut or a bagel and some coffee. It's just a nice place, it's good. It's a local hangout. But they always have fresh milk. I love Wawa. I'm a big fan of Wawa. And so one of the things that's really important is when I walked in and I helped elect Obama, there was an older black man, and I was just getting a cup of coffee, and he walked in and he looked down and I remember this to this day, and I don't think I'll ever forget it for the rest of my life. And I live next to Chester. Chester is darn near blighted, right? It's a bad area in my area. And actually, I live very close there, and they really struggle with a lot of urban problems. And so, I'm on the border, so I live in a nicer area, and Chester's really kind of struggling. But there was this elderly black man at the local Wawa, and he walked in, and he looked down at the paper, and it said Barack Obama elected president on the cover of the Daily Times, right? And I saw he literally froze in place, and he looked down at that paper, and he was looking at history, and he was thinking of, I could see that he was thinking of, his sons and his grandsons. When they tell them that anyone can be president in this country, there was truth behind those words. And for 42 consecutive presidents, there wasn't any truth in that. Electing 42 white guys in this country in a row, we owe history. We had to change things, and I really feel proud that I helped change the direction of what we were doing in America, and that we can give power to minorities in this country, and that it's real. It's not just words, right? And so, so with all that said, a lot of the elections that we've been having, we get these guys who come up, and they're all talking about the same thing. They talk about the deficit. They talk about debt. They talk about education, and they talk about all these issues. And then they trot out these solutions that are milquetoast. There's nothing exciting about them. They're just like, I'm going to change this X degrees. I'm going to change this Y degrees. And there's really nothing to really get behind. And I really feel like you don't see any moonshots, right? So that's what this entire video is about. It's about a moonshot president, right? So, and actually, it's also about the Omaha mass driver, and that's what I think the next moonshot president should be talking about. The next presidency should be talking about the Omaha mass driver, right? So I'm a science fiction fan. Science fiction is awesome, and what it does is it helps us to see the future, and it helps us predict the future, and it helps us make the future, right? So the Omaha mass driver is important to me because what we should be doing is we should be building a mass driver in Omaha. This thing should be 5, 10, 15 miles long in the ground. It should be a massive mass driver that is literally dug out of the rock and placed into on American soil. And so this will be dug underground. It'll be a huge 5, 10, 15 mile long tunnel, right? And you essentially could shoot a load of tons and tons of ore. You can shoot a spaceship. You can shoot whatever you need straight up into space. You can do it again and again. And unlike a rocket, it's reusable, right? This would be a massive, probably hundreds of billions of dollars, if not $1 trillion project, right? It'd be huge, right? And I want it in the middle of America because that's where we need, some liveliness. Why put another thing on the East Coast or West Coast? We got enough. You got New York. Woo! New York is hot, man. I love New York. When I go up there, see innovation all the time, see action, see, I love America, and and New York is America to the hill, and it's a rock star city, right? L.A., you got the heart of entertainment for the world. You got movies being made. You got all kinds of excitement going on the West Coast too, right? So there's lots of stuff in the West Coast and the East Coast. How many presidents come from Middle America? How many new projects are happening in Middle America? So build this thing in Omaha, right? Give Middle America some love. Give them a chance to get some major projects built there in Omaha, right? So you build a mass driver. And the reason why we need to build a mass driver there is this will push our technology forward 25, 50, 100 years in advance, and it'll do it right away. And all we need is a single president to point the way. So the way we got to the moon, in the 60s there was a little bit of talk about getting to the moon, but then from 1963 to 1969, we pretty much built the moonwalk, just lock, stock, and barrel from what Kennedy said, and all he did was point the way. So we need a president to say we're building the Omaha mass driver, right? Now, why do we need a mass driver in America, right? And so then we get back to the question about what is of value on the moon, what is of value in low Earth orbit, what is in value of space, and everybody's saying there's nothing of value there. That's why we're not there. This is just silliness. I've never understood this. It's like people don't read, okay? If you read science fiction, you know exactly why we need a mass driver. You know why we need a colony on the moon. You know why we need the ability to get things in space instantly, which in America we've lost. Good grief, we are paying a ticket for the Russians to get us into space for Virgin America to get us into space, NASA is like, just a shadow of what it used to be. That's a serious problem, right? So why do we need a mass driver? Here's the reason why. Robert Heinlein, right? So Robert Heinlein wrote a book called The Moon is a Harsh Mistress. Now, this is a fiction novel, but it's got a very clear fact in it, right? So in there, Moon is a Harsh Mistress is a great novel. It has a concept where the moon is a platform where the colonists on the moon are, all they need to do to bomb the world, anywhere in the world, is simply throw a rock down, right? So all you would need to do is put heat-resistant tiles on a boulder, sling it off of the moon, right? And you could use that thing as a bomb to hit anywhere on the world. So I don't understand why people are saying we don't need a colony on the moon. We absolutely need a colony on the moon. Whatever country establishes a colony on the moon has high ground. I don't understand why people don't understand this. High ground on the entire Earth. So you can send down, you can shoot anything you want at anywhere on the Earth. And what is the Earth going to do? How are they going to hit you when you're on the moon? Shooting something down from the moon to Earth is there's no gravity. There's no gravity. So it's just math and a gentle push, right? So and then it'll descend down on the Earth, use the orbit of the moon, use the orbit of the Earth to make whatever they're going to sling down there. And this is all Robert Heinlein's work. This is just his idea, right? So this is a huge issue, right? And I've never understood why people don't understand that being on the moon is incredibly important. It is a military platform and is extremely important. So we need a mass driver so that we can be in low Earth orbit. We can be on the moon whenever we want, and we need to build a moon colony because it is the high ground of the Earth, which is huge. So why are we building drones when the first country to get up there and put any kind of military platform on the moon is going to be able to have the high ground on the entire Earth? They can attack whatever they want for virtually no cost at a moment's notice, right? And the thing that's crazy is I'm talking about this like I'm genuinely worried about this situation. This has been around since the 60s, right? So I just don't understand why people don't read more Heinlein and just realize what he was saying. Heinlein was brilliant, right? And so, this is a big deal. So we need an Omaha mass driver, and that's what I want my next president to build. I want a president who's going to bring the Omaha mass driver, right? Thank you very much.